They say success is beautiful, glamorous, and full of light. But what if I told you that behind every shining stage light, there's a shadow, one that follows even the brightest star? When you hear the name Taylor Swift, you think of perfection. A global icon, a pop queen, a living legend. But what if her story isn't just about music, talent, or fame? What if behind that smile, there's a darker truth? A truth built on obsession, betrayal, and the cost of becoming the most powerful woman in the music industry? It all started when a young girl from Pennsylvania picked up a guitar and dreamed of being heard. She wasn't born into the glitter of Hollywood or the luxury of fame. She was just a teenager writing songs in her bedroom. But even back then, Taylor understood something most people never do. Fame isn't given, it's engineered, and she was ready to engineer it. In the early days, record labels saw her as another country girl with a dream. But Taylor had a plan. She studied the industry, every artist, every fall, every scandal. She learned how to control perception, how to be the innocent one, the underdog, the girl next door. And while the world fell for that image, behind the curtain, she was building a machine. Every lyric, every public appearance, every breakup story, carefully timed, calculated, and crafted into a narrative people couldn't stop watching. Her heartbreaks weren't just personal, they were a business model. Because Taylor understood something powerful, pain sells, emotions sell, vulnerability connects, but only if you control the narrative before anyone else does. By the time she was 20, she had mastered the art of turning her life into a storyline. And the world, it watched like a movie, every song a scene, every scandal a twist, every award a victory. But success, once you taste it, demands a price. And Taylor was about to pay it. Behind the applause, there were enemies. Industry executives who wanted to own her music, critics who called her manipulative, celebrities who mocked her rise. And yet, every attack only made her stronger. She turned public humiliation into chart-topping hits. Every insult became an anthem. Every fall became a rebirth. When the entire internet turned against her after the feud with Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, most careers would have ended. But Taylor didn't break. She transformed. She went silent, disappeared from the spotlight, and returned with a vengeance. The Reputation era wasn't just an album, it was her declaration of war. It was the sound of a woman who had seen the darkness and decided to use it. She understood how power works, that in modern fame, your story must never end. When people think they know you, change the chapter. When they label you, reinvent yourself. From country to pop, from pop to indie, from victim to villain to hero again, every version of Taylor Swift is a new mask built on the ashes of the last one. And each mask makes her stronger. But here's the dark truth. The very engine of her success is control, total control, of her image, her art, her message, and her fans. Taylor Swift doesn't just have a fan base, she has an army. Millions who defend her, idolize her, and live through her lyrics. She doesn't just release music, she builds worlds. Easter eggs, cryptic clues, secret meanings. Every detail feeds the illusion that fans are part of her story. It's not marketing, it's psychology. And it's brilliant. Still, behind all the brilliance lies a haunting reality. The higher she climbs, the lonelier it gets. Every friendship questioned, every relationship dissected, every word analyzed. Fame gave her power, but it also took something she can never get back: peace. Because when your life becomes the story, you no longer own it. The world does. And yet, maybe that's the true genius of Taylor Swift. She turned her scars into a symphony, her heartbreaks into history, her trauma into triumph. The darkness didn't destroy her, it crowned her. She learned to play the villain and the victim at the same time. She mastered the balance between authenticity and illusion, and in doing so, she became untouchable. But think about it. How much of what we see is real? How much is performance? When she cries on stage, is it pain or perfection? When she smiles, is it relief or routine? Taylor once said, "I love the idea of painting a picture of what you want the world to see and then showing them something different underneath." Maybe that's the secret. Her truth is never one thing. It's a mirror reflecting what we want to believe. Every generation needs a symbol, a hero who defines its emotions. And Taylor became that mirror for millions who feel unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. She turned her vulnerability into a superpower. But that superpower came with a shadow, the constant pressure to be perfect, relevant, adored. A cage made of gold and glitter. The dark truth behind Taylor Swift's success isn't evil, it's human. It's about how far someone can go to protect their art, their legacy, and their identity in a world that constantly tries to own it. She's not just a singer, she's a strategist, a storyteller, a survivor. So the next time you hear her voice, remember, behind every catchy hook and glittering stage lies a woman who fought, lost, and rebuilt herself 1,000 times. Behind every song that makes you cry is a story that almost broke her. Behind every headline, every victory, every lyric, there's a shadow whispering the same truth. Success isn't free. It costs your peace, your privacy, and sometimes your soul. And maybe that's the real reason we can't stop watching her. Because somewhere deep down, we all see a part of ourselves in her journey. The pain, the fight, the transformation. Taylor Swift didn't just conquer the music industry. She conquered perception itself. She turned darkness into diamonds. And maybe that's why, in the end, her greatest masterpiece isn't a song, it's herself.